baseball team will be beginning play. Their next game will be district tournament against Johnson County. The winner of the Johnson County Unicoi County game will then take on Elizabethton. That'll be at Saturday at 2:30. The loser would then play the loser of the, let me see here, Sullivan East play-in game loser, and that would be in Elizabethton at Joe O'Brien Saturday. So there you go. We'll see what we can do. I am going to, let's see here, we will be doing this. I wanted to mention, I said we were going to do a media watch. I haven't done this in a while. But you know what? Let's do that. It's the end of an era, folks. Yes, the end of an era. This is Media Watch. In high school, you gotta do, hey, you get off of my cloud at Cloudland. I gotta talk to Glenn White about that too. I mean, that's just the band, and can you imagine people at Orfield going, hey, you get off of my cloud? That would be big. I'm telling you this right now. And they do it in that tune too, you see, so that would be good, Well, you get that, yes. Anyway, high school kids getting involved in songs written in 1965. I'm sure that will be big. That's the only thing against it, to tell you the truth. But then again, I mean, how old is our director at Dobbins Bennett? Think about that, Yes, Furman and Dobbins Bennett have the same fight song. Sports Illustrated, because Sporting News was about the American sports, I mean, I remember this in 1984. I got a Sports Illustrated, got a Sporting News. It was during the Olympics. Sports Illustrated was all about the Olympics. And you know what? I didn't care. Sports Illustrated then made Mary Decker the, sports person of the year in 1984. I couldn't have cared less. It's like, who is she? Why wasn't it Kirk Gibson? Why wasn't it Dan Marino? He knew all the ins. He knew it better than Roxy. It's one of these guys that now are getting this now, that approved the sport, that introduced the sports gambling bill. I made a phone call down there, and he's been on the show before. Let's see here. And I can only now remember his first name. I'll talk about this more in the next segment here and all this, but I'll be having, at least try, assuming he'll come back on. You can actually watch, it's Rick Staples, is the legislator down in Knoxville that ended Staples. So I get the name mixed up in my head, forgive me. Punk Bot. I keep wanting to say Blot. Okay, now there's another reference to the 80s nobody got. Anyway. The circumstance is going to be that, that was a great ESPN. Bonds, start of the previous decade. He's going for 73 home runs. Is it legitimate? Their writer, and he wasn't a sports writer, and that's okay. That was ESPN. They wanted to get something a little avant-garde. I get it. I don't have a problem with that. But the writer goes in and says, we had a presidential election and nobody knew really who won. Excuse me, what does the presidential election have to do with Barry Bonds hitting 73 home runs? That was ESPN again trying. Yeah. And that's when I quit subscribing to ESPN, the magazine. I'm not one of these stick to sports guys. Certainly this show, we'll talk about we're going to talk about, sports and politics, sports games. But when you run the risk, because politics are so dividing, when you take half of your audience, yeah, hey, let's be a conservative sports talk show. Let's be a liberal sports talk show. You ever notice this? Not a whole lot of Republicans watch MSNBC. Not a whole lot of Democrats watch Fox News. In fact, it works. When ESPN was good, ESPN the magazine was good, it was great. When it was bad, it was everything you hate about ESPN. I just wonder how much longer Sports Illustrated will keep a print edition. Tell you the truth, if they started doing more daily coverage of sports, might be the best thing for Sports Illustrated. 12th night.